My MIDI project is really a small soundtrack. I discovered some sound effects in Logic Pro 9 that gave me the idea for a short 3-part story. In part 1, you hear the sound of someone sailing across the bay. The foghorn is blowing, but the fog has just lifted. The foghorn and the buoy bells were MIDI creations of mine, and I created a short duet with the foghorn and another synthesizer in Logic 9 called a Glockenspiel. That's the sort of a plucking sound that you'll hear. So the sailor is sailing along without a care in the world, when suddenly the wind kicks up and the weather gets bad quickly. But he's totally committed to a sailboat ride on a Saturday afternoon since it's his only day off. In part 2, the melody is replaced by music that would make most people turn back, but not this guy. He ties himself to the deck and gets ready for the storm. Part 3 is the storm itself, and the guy has a really good time sailing in the rain. The music is serious but fun, kind of bouncy. Many of the special effects came right out of the GarageBand special effects library in Logic 9, but I also searched for some other sound effects for the stormy weather and some high-quality wind. The sound of the MIDI synthesizer in part 3 was my favorite part of the soundtrack. It was called a pulsating morph, and I actually recorded a low and a high track of the same sound to give it some punch. The two tracks go together really well, and the bass does not overpower the total sound. There's already some bass in the thunder and the wind, so I had to be careful not to saturate the lows and make it sound too boomy. Once all the tracks were laid down, I fine-tuned it by balancing the sound levels. The final touch was to fade out the soundtrack in the final 4 seconds so that it was exactly 3 minutes long. We never get to know if the hero of our story made it back to land safely, but I guess that'll be in the sequel. I hope you enjoy my creation.